Yeah, it's about three types pages. Mostly to go in the files of the club history or their in the repeater notes, but I'd like you to look at it first. I think I got pretty much it covered.
Hey,
So,
Joe, you gonna include the password?
We've had two or
what'd you say, John?
no,
Rick, what password, Rick?
not really.
Repeater passwords. You
No.
gonna include the super secret repeater
No,
password?
no. Sworn to secrecy. It's like John Blevins 20 years ago made me prick my finger and put blood and burn a picture of a saint in my palm.
Oh. Ricky, I'll send it to you in a private email.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love it.
The problem though, not remember anything, so you can tell anybody anything. Forget it.
Yeah, it'll all come back to you when you read it.
Howdy, boys.
Hi, Johnny
Evening,
B.
John.
John,
Yeah.
I don't know, it sounds like they really want to build up that spare computer pretty big.
LN1 LES, this is John, W1BQ.
That thing's
Hi, John.
Did you get
Same.
the telnet information I sent?
Yes, I did.
How
And I'm
did-
all set. I clustered it. It's working beautiful now. Scrolling
Awesome.
through all the spots.
Okay, Rob, I don't think the reflector's working for me.
yeah, everybody got your email. At least I did.
I didn't get it.
When
All
did
of
you
them.
send it?
What?
When did you send it?
There you go.
Huh.
I don't recall seeing anything from you, John.
I got it. No, didn't see it either.
I did. Oh,
The
no,
reflector?
not about the reflector.
No, it was sent via reflector.
I
And was
sent
it
it,
sent to members?
That's what I mean, via reflector.
members at nw1nrg.com, something like that.
Oh,
I sent one to myself. I sent one that said test, don't reply.
I saw that.
I
I
got
saw that one. I saw the second one you sent for N1LES, and I rarely get any emails that I send to the reflector back to my own email.
Okay, well, I was worried about Joe getting what I sent. He's got it, that's fine.
I'll make sure that you're still on the list there, John. Make sure that you're not disincluded for whatever reason. But I haven't gotten any bounce notices, and I'm not going to say how many weeks because then Murphy's going to show up.
Okay,
I got another question for you, Rob or John. Does N1MM somehow do automatic call sign lookup? Like
Yeah.
you already said.
Sure.
hit the QRZ button.
That's my next. I didn't see that anywhere.
It's in there.
Okay.
Sure does. One time I had that thing going when I don't remember if it was a contest or QSO party, but I kept, every time I made a call sign, when it was still in the entry window, I had the QRZ button. I had so many windows up, QRZ came back and said, hey, you got too many windows open. We're not going to display anything else.
Well, you shouldn't have to look it up in QRZ.
hey, I never knew that was there.
I was always curious about who I was talking to, John. That's the only reason I did it.
I never
Okay.
knew that was there. I learned something new tonight.
Yeah.
Tells you the heading and stuff like that on N1MM. But
Yeah, a nice option would be for it to auto-populate the name and the log.
You'd be
The
surprised.
next one
what
would
it
be to
can
work
do.
the station for you, huh?
If you do FTA, it kind of almost does that too.
I don't do FT8, in case you hadn't heard.
That's not what your question was, Eric.
when you look up a call sign on QRZ, you get the FCC information. You don't necessarily get where the fellow's located.
Right.
To make the transmission. He might be portable. He might, the FCC and on the QRZ main call page is the mailing address or an address on record with the FCC.
But the interesting fact is, like, say you work in a guy that's K1RCT stroke W4 out of wherever. If you spot that, then it will start to populate. If somebody sends in their log file or their log file, that will actually populate in the next contest. And if that comes up again during the next contest, K1RCT stroke W4, it'll actually auto populate the guy's name and whatnot and all the particulars.
That's N1MM.
That's N1MM. But you have to submit your, like a Cabrillo, I think it's a Cabrillo log, to the guy that does the vocab stuff. What's his call sign again? I can't remember right now.
Yeah, but
CT
if you've worked them before, Rob, it'll populate right below the log sheet. How many
Well,
times you've worked them.
Yeah, from your own log. I'm
Right.
talking about like if you're contesting or QSO party or something like that. There's if you submit your call log, Cabrillo log, to the guy that does a cty.dat file. I just can't remember his name or call sign right now, but they actually populates and he accumulates everybody's call sign from the last contest, and he puts out a new cty.dat file, which if you've ever noticed, like when you type in a call sign, if it shows up in yellow, that means it wasn't picked up in the last cty.dat file that you uploaded. So it's kind of an interesting facet if you're a news junkie like me, or data junkie, I guess.
Eric, did you notice a ham almost across the street from you?
Oh, was that you?
No, 82?
82.
Yeah,
No, Leo Perry?
yeah,
Yeah, I think he let his license expired and he doesn't live there anymore.
okay.
There's a new one that we just tested last VE session that lives down the street from me. He's up around 115 or something in that end of the block. He's the guy that's the pilot. He runs the flying school at Meriden ARC.
Okay,
Really?
Yeah,
He's the guy with several planes.
yeah, 3 planes. He's got his own Air Force.
The club.
Hey, there's James. James, I'm going to make you co-host, buddy. Here you are.
Sure. There's no topic, so it's basically just chat as you want. So I'm happy to be co-host, but I haven't got a lot to say tonight. I just looking forward to a good conversation. But good to see everybody. Thanks for checking in, and hope everybody has a good holiday weekend too.
We'll
Yeah.
pick up the slack.
I think I
Okay.
picked up a topic for July 16, James.
Cool. Thanks.
We're not going to pick up the rental car until like Friday, so I think I want to talk about N1MM, because I remember having
Cool.
like an activity meeting at the club in person for N1MM,
Mhm.
but I never did one
Sure.
on Zoom, so I think I'd like to put that out there and
That'd
Cool.
be good.
talk,
Yeah,
talk
we'd be
about
good.
talk about N1MM stuff.
Cool.
She's-
Well, we can golf pencil you in, no erasers for the 16th, and if you want the slot, it's yours. I reached out to a couple other folks, so a couple other folks are thinking about stuff to do in August, and I think Jim N1 ZN said he's got something in the works.
Oh, cool.
So we'll get there. It's a slow time. People's minds are in summer, which I get. But
Yeah. You might
anyways,
wanna-
I'll say this much too. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, what you were saying?
You might want to reach out to Mark KE1IU, I think his call sign is, the Raison guy, Raison president.
Oh,
Maybe-
right.
He I included him in the invite for tonight's meeting. I don't think he'll show up. He probably needs more notice than that, but
Yeah,
I will include him in editions going forward, but you might want to reach out to him. He might have another topic.
yeah, that sounds cool. I reached out to Aunt Jim, you, Steve, who I guess is just retiring, he mentioned, which is good for him. So yeah, so we'll see where we get. But that's really good. I was gonna say congrats on field day, and I was gonna say congrats to Sean and Dave on the parks activations too. So that's kind of cool. I just figured people want to share what they're doing this month. I did mail the group. I did activate my first park when I was on vacation 2 weeks ago up in Maine, and it was really a lot of fun. I'm actually putting together a go kit with a heavy old Kenwood, I think a TSA 30. So I can take out and operate from picnic tables for a POTA later this summer. So that's what's going on here.
That was pretty cool. I was watching you on Facebook. I couldn't hear you on HF, but did you contact anybody from the club or anybody back down this way at all?
I got nobody from the club. I had a lot of noise. I was up on a hill, and I brought a buddy stick. I don't have a buddy pole, but I have a buddy stick, which I actually set it up. So what the deal was, my wife and I rented a unit at this beach resort, and it had a big deck. We were right on the ocean in Algonquin, and I set up the buddy stick the day before out on our deck, and I was trying to like figure out the right taps using my my antenna analyzer, and of course my two neighbors wanted to know what I was up to, which was kind of cool. So I got to be the goodwill ambassador for ham radio. And similarly, when I got up on the mountain and set it up, some other old codgers came by and asked what I was up to. I felt like Doc Brown in Back to the Future, rigging up the lightning rod to the clock tower. You know.
So here's what you gotta do, James. Next time you do something like that, go on the internet, go to Google Translate, and look up like a couple of phrases in Russian. And when someone says, "Hey, what are you doing out here?" start talking to them in Russian.
Svidanya.
Yeah, exactly. I always feel like I have to apologize, but you know what? I was going to actually ask for Sean to tell us more about his POTAs working, because he's definitely the expert. But one of the other things and this struck me after the fact, after I did my one activation, I've seen people talk about like bringing ARRL ham radio literature for the uninitiated to hand out too.
Yeah.
And that's a thought I might want to do next time as well. But anyways, just short answer for my activation. I did have fun. I did use the mobile that I installed in the car that I've shared with you guys. And I have an ATAS antenna. And last time I checked in with it, I talked to bonding the car, and it seemed to be really good. The ATAS antenna, which is a lip mount, I have a ground cable on it. It takes like forever to tune up when I change bands. But I will say, when I was on the mountain, I only made about 18 contacts in 2 hours, which was fine for me. You know, it counted, and I had plenty of contacts, you know, to keep me happy. But I will say I did better with the ATAS antenna on the lip than I did with the buddy stick on a tripod. So for whatever that's worth. So I'm still thinking about different kind of ideas.
I've been up on that mountain, James, when we visited Algonquin. That's quite a nice mountain. I listened for you, but I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, I didn't get anybody here. I made most of my contacts into Ontario, and I had one, I think, as far south as Tennessee. I was running 100 watts on 40 meters, and you know, phone, and I had a lot of noise. Most of the stations I heard were pretty faint. I got a lot in the New Jersey area, but I didn't get anybody in Connecticut. But I appreciate you guys trying, and it is a nice mountain. I went back on Friday that week, or yeah, I think it was Friday, the last day we were in town. My wife sleeps in. I got up and I did some of the hiking trails, the loop roads, the ring roads around the mountain. It's all like 900 feet, I think. But it would, you know, for an old fat guy like me, it was a good hike, actually. I really enjoyed it. So I give credit to the folks here that started us down this POTA road. And like I said, I'm not the biggest ball of fire like you guys, but I got to say, Jesus, this could really become habit forming. I had a lot of fun. So thanks for everybody who participated.
Yeah, another thing, I know we have nothing going on tonight. Some of you people have seen them. I've got some videos on making cable. I don't know if nobody has anything to talk about, if you want to look at those. Some of you have seen them before.
Yeah, you know, there's no reason not to share.
Yeah, have
Right,
at it.
so-
Like I said, totally open forum tonight. Whatever you guys want to talk about. I'm probably gonna bail after about a half hour, so make it your
Well,
time
this is-
tonight.
Yeah, this is making a hard line, what's called a hard line or, commercial cable, so.
While you're setting that up, Jim, I'll ask, anybody got any questions, queries, or comments?
Yeah, I have a comment about James talking about carrying ARRL literature. We decided after the last Fox Huts that we should be carrying club brochures to hand out to people because we get a lot of questions too when we're fox hunting about what's going on. And if you have half a dozen of the club brochures that K1LYP printed up in your car, you can hand them out to these people and you might get some interest.
That's a good idea, and I tell you why. When I was I was at Meriden, Castle Craig. What was it, about 3 weeks ago? Hiding a fox in a box. I had probably 6 people come up and wonder what I was doing. They directly came up and said, "Hey, what are you doing? I see you on the radio. You're out kind of hanging around. I can hear your conversation with others." And I explained it all. It would have been easier to explain it if I was
Right.
able to put them something that they could read and say, "Oh, okay, got it."
Yeah, I was going to say, I wanted to add, I had a couple other experiences on vacation too. My wife and I did a little harbor cruise, a seal watch out of Kennebunkport. And we get to Buzz Walker Point. That was fun. But anyways, the first mate on our craft said she was from Newington. I said, Newington. I said, that's great. I said, I'm a ham. And she just gave me this dirty look. And she said, what is that supposed to mean? I said, well, the ARRL. She goes, what's the ARRL? And it just boggled my mind that you could grow up in Newington, Connecticut and have never heard about this. But so I explained it to her and we had a really good chat. The other thing that was cool was there was another woman with her son on the cruise, and she was asking me questions about ham radio. Again, if I had the literature, I could be propagating the faith, as it were. But and the last thing I'll say, and I don't want to monopolize, but when I was tuning up the buddy stick on my deck before I went up the mountain, and my neighbor next door came over and started chatting to me about it, and I was explaining it to him. Of course, he ended the conversation by saying, "Oh, and I suppose that's your car in the parking lot." Well, duh, everybody's got a car in the parking lot, but it's true. I know what he meant. The little Mini Cooper with the with the big ATAS antenna and the VHF antenna, the antenna farm on the back. So anyways, it's always fun to talk radio with folks. So I'll hand it back to Jim or whoever wants to present.
I have a comment to add, Rob. I guess you're the MC. Rob's not here. I went to the Richmond Field Day on Saturday in Virginia,
Well, go
and
ahead.
got to see their operation. It was pretty good. And Alan Johnson, WA3J, says to say hi to John B. They're going to have another Frost Fest. Had to pass that on, John.
Good. Well, that's one of my favorite shows, actually.
Yeah, I like going there too.
So I'm looking forward to doing that. And
They were running 3-wire loop antennas across a football field, which I found was very interesting. Because I've looked at the towers with some degree of lust across the street from the firehouse at the Sheehan football field. And they went ahead and did that, although they didn't have to cross the street.
What do they use, like the lighting masts for the?
Yeah,
for
the light poles at the football field.
That's cool.
Yeah. And
Covered, yeah.
they had 3 loops with 3 feed lines, all interconnected with each other, but separate antennas.
Wow.
And they were fighting with N1MM when I was here, trying to get it to talk between the 3 stations they were running. So
How did they attach a loop to a light bulb?
I asked them that. They threw the stuff up there. They didn't climb it. I asked him if they climbed it, and he said no. I don't think their poles were quite as high as Sheehan's, but they were, and also the field was real grass and not AstroTurf or whatever we have at Sheehan, the artificial.
Well, they're a good active club down there.
Yeah.
Well,
Jim,
I
did
can
you
show
say-
some videos if,
Yes, can you,
I guess
you
I gotta
turned on your
share my
share?
screen and I don't know how this exactly works, but,
Well, I made you co-host, so you should be able to do it.
so what do I do? Just click share screen and then
Yeah.
click on the video and it'll pop up?
If you click share screen, and then
Yeah.
you have to go back to your video, make sure you can all tab to your video. And then once you do that, we'll see what you're all tabbing to, which is hopefully your video. So
Hopefully.
make sure your video is queued up, just like
Yep.
you're doing. Yep, you got it. Bang Zoom.
Everybody's looking at this?
Oh, wow.
We see
Yeah, we
slides.
can-
All
we can
right,
see
I
your
had a
screen.
presentation I did at the club, but I'm not gonna do the PowerPoint. I'm just gonna show some slides, so.
Oh, perfect.
Awesome.
This is making cable. First thing that they do, this is pretty much all industries that make products like this do the same thing. There's no top secret here that's going to be given away. So the center conductor on this particular, most of the cables start with flat strip.
Yeah,
So
whatever
they're
you,
feeding off the flat strip off a payoff.
whatever you do, if you click on it, we'll see that it expands up, Jim.
You seeing it now?
We see all of your slides right now.
Are you seeing the video going?
No,
No,
you gotta,
I
you
wonder-
gotta, you gotta click
Why?
on the video.
I'm showing the video, so
try
Okay, Alt tab.
maybe.
Try Alt Tab and keep,
wait a minute. Huh? Alt tab?
yeah, press down Alt and then
I can't
cycle
find it. Oh.
and then keep cycling tab until you get to your video.
All right, let me stop it somehow. I don't know how to, okay, hang on a minute. I got too many boxes here.
Take
All
your
right.
time.
Alt tab, huh? This computer, where's Alt? New computer, Alt tab. That do anything?
I didn't see it. Hold on a second, guys. I got something going on here.
You see my, you see this screen with all the different films, all the
Yes.
different files, right?
Correct.
But when I start one, it doesn't seem to show up on the. I had freaking get.
We see you.
Screen. All right, hang on a minute. Screen share. I don't know. I can't stop the video from playing. When I hit X, there we go. So now I lost that screen.
Press and hold Alt and then keep tabbing through all of your open windows.
Say that again.
Press and hold Tab.
I don't,
Alt.
well, yeah, it's not open yet. Let me open the window.
Okay. Get out of here.
All right.
So press and hold Alt. And
Alt.
yeah, now just keep holding Alt and hit the Tab button until you get to your screen that you want to show.
Well, I
Once
have to. All right. I'm on the one I want to show.
Okay,
Then share
release it.
screen.
Huh?
Share screen.
Now, are you seeing this?
We see your Windows Explorer open.
But you don't see the screen with the all the
No.
videos shown.
No,
Well, you saw it before though, right?
you have to hit Alt and Tab till you get the open window.
I don't know. What
I
you
think
mean
you to
by that.
minimize this window.
What is that view tab? Home share view.
Press Alt to show or hide control. Sorry. This is not working too
And
well.
it says play at the top.
All right, now I'm on the videos. Now there's a whole bunch of videos in this folder.
So Jim, so you see the play button all the way on top of John just said, where it says play, very, very, very top. Left side, go left with your cursor. Right now, go right a little bit, right a little bit, right. No, your other right. A little bit more right,
A little
I'm
towards
on-
the center.
a little more right, one more. Go right, one more, right there, go up. See where it says play up above that?
No, I got you are sharing your screen. Hang on a minute. Oh, this one. Move. The video is playing.
We don't
Oh,
see it
play,
play. Yeah,
here's
there
play.
you go. That's the one. Hit that.
Now, are you seeing this?
Nope.
No.
No.
Try, as John suggested earlier, try and minimize this screen.
Yeah.
So that the only thing left is your video that's playing.
Yep.
Try to minimize which screen?
This screen that you're on with all the slides.
Are you
Yeah.
using multiple screens?
Yeah,
Is
you
it
have more
so
than one
just
screen.
Drag the video from the other screen onto the screen that has the videos, the little clips. 'Cause that's the screen we're seeing.
You got two displays, Jim?
No.
Hmm. If you press the Alt, hold the Alt and press the Tab key, what happens? Do it once. Alt Tab.
Yeah, it brings up the folder with all the videos in it.
Okay, press Alt Tab one more time.
Not switching.
You're not tabbing out for some reason.
But how come I can see the video playing and I'm,
Well, because you have Windows open on your desktop. I think what you did is you shared your Windows Explorer screen instead of sharing the screen that you're looking at.
so should I close this?
Try it.
Close that
Try
all up.
closing it.
Try closing it. Not gonna hurt. We're back on you.
All right, everything's closed.
All right, so when you go to share screen, it's going to ask you screen, whiteboard, iPhone, iPad, sent mail.
All right, I got shared screen up.
All right. You got shared screen? Now,
I clicked shared screen.
on your desktop, go back to your desktop and open up the folder that you have your video in and double click it to start it.
That's what I did. All right, here's the folder. And there's a video folder. Okay, so that folder's,
Now go back to share screen. You should see another screen populated on that, which has got your video running. Do you see it?
when I did share screen, it says select the window or an application you want to share.
Right, so you should have icons up there that have your screen, your whiteboard, iPhone, iPad, whatever, sent mail, whatever windows you have open, you should be able to see the video that you have playing.
There's a bunch of windows open, like screen, whiteboard, iPhone, video.
Which one is playing your video?
The videos, when it says videos.
Okay, click that one once.
All right, which I did. It's just highlighted.
And click share now.
Well, it's not working too easy.
I don't know why it's
Not
not
doing
working.
anything.
I don't know why it's
Yes.
not working for you.
Oh, wait a minute, share.
There
If I
it
do
is.
share, yeah. Now you see the folder with all the clips.
Right.
Yeah.
But when now what, if I click on it, can you see my arrow?
Yes.
Mouse? But when I click on it and start playing, you said you never saw it.
Right.
Try it
we did
again.
that. Yeah, sure.
You see anything?
I still see your Windows Explorer open.
See, it's playing for me, in front of me.
Yeah. I don't know why that's not working
Strange.
for you.
Says you are screen sharing. Little box up ahead.
Try one more time to go to screen share.
What do you mean screen share?
Share screen, screen share.
Let's try this. Something else is,
There it is. We got it now.
All right.
problem is I don't know how we're gonna get to the next one. All right. So they're starting to make the center conductor. They're starting with, you can hear me all right, right?
Yep.
They're starting with flat copper strip, pretty much pure copper. They're paying it off, feeding it off. And it's gonna go through some forming stations to, this is a welder that's when they have to splice together different strips. This isn't used anymore. It's an accumulator. So now they're going through some forming stations. They're gonna be going through right here. Well, here's a slitter. They're slitting to size to get the exact size they need. Now they're going through some forming stations. So I stopped the video. You can see in here, this is some forming stations. It's a little hard to see. You can see right here, it's starting to form into the shape of a tube. See that? Hello?
Yep.
All right. So here it is again, a little tighter, going through a ring. Now here's a welding machine. They're actually welding that together. And there's a control panel, just shows some of the, this is actually a screen that's got a little camera showing the weld. It's kind of hard to figure out what it is, but it's for the operator can see where the weld is taking place. So here's the welded, that's the camera. Here's the welded cable. It's going through a sizing die, kind of round out the weld. It has a little high spot, so they kind of round that out. That's just an air knife blowing it through. Now this giant, whoops, next machine now. Oh, now you see this still?
Yep.
See this next video? Okay, excellent. This is a giant cap stand. It's just pulling the cable along. There's 2 rubber belts in there. Now it's going to go into what's called a corrugator. What they're going to do is put corrugations in the cable. So you can see the corrugations in there. What that does is it enables the cable to bend to a certain amount. Obviously, if you bend a straight tube, it's going to kink. And this is just blowing off some of the oil that they use on it. Again, here you can see the finished center conductor. So this is the center conductor for a fairly large cable, 1 5/8, I believe, a 1 5/8 size cable. And they put it up on the reel. Now, once they make the center conductor, next they put the dielectric on it, which we'll see. All right, so here we're at the foam line. Here's the center conductor that they made, or not the exact same one necessarily, the same size. So it's paying off.
I'd like to take that copper down to scrapyard.
Oh, boy, it's worth it. It's pretty much pure copper. Just so we're kind of paying it off. All right, this is an ultrasonic cleaner, this stainless thing. Getting any of the oil, the corrugating oil, which was the water. It's a water base off. This is another cap stand. This is what's pulling the cable along, pulling it off the reel. All right, well, I'll go a little farther. This is a mini small extruder. What they're doing is they're extruding a small film of polyethylene plastic onto the copper. The foam doesn't really stick well to the copper, so this clear, it's like a clear polyethylene, and it kind of forms around the corrugations. So when they apply the foam, it sticks to that plastic. Can't really see it because it's clear. You can see it's shiny there. It's a little dull. Then as it cures, it gets a little shiny. So now we're at the large extruder.
You don't put that on with a bath, huh?
What's that? What?
You don't put that foam on with a bath.
With a bath?
Yeah. The one I saw at Andrew,
well, it's
they melted
extruded.
the pellets. And then
Yeah,
they
these
ran-
are pellets. There's pellets up above this machine. There's actually two types of plastic. There's a high-density polyethylene mixed with a low-density polyethylene. And there's also a nucleating agent or like a catalyst that's mixed in. And those are all blended up above on a mezzanine. They're automatic blenders. And then it comes through this extruder. And this is what's called a crosshead because the cable is going through the crosshead and the foam is coming out of the extruder. And just showing the extruder.
Hey, Jim, what company is that?
So it's a sprayed.
It's a generic company. It's a local generic company.
I mean, I assume it's Times Fiber.
No, Times Fiber doesn't make this type of product. They make more of cables that we use. This is more like a commercial cable that's would be going up on cell towers. This is radio frequency systems up in Meriden. So here's your crosshead, and you can see the extruders here, the foam is coming out. And I forgot to mention one thing. There are also, I should back up somewhere. We're injecting a gas. Right over here, there's a port where there's gas being injected. So the gas is being injected at about, I forget, 3,000 or 4,000 PSI into the extruder. So when the foam comes out of, when the plastic, it's just regular melted plastic, hard plastic, when it comes out of the extruder, the gas causes it to foam up and expand. It's like foam in a can. You know, if you've all probably used foam in a can. So here's the foam dielectric on top of the cable. And then it goes into a cooling water trough. It's not all water. This section's just air, but a little farther up, it goes into water. It's very critical to control the cooling rate. Otherwise, you get big voids and stuff in the foam. And what this is closed. It's a closed cell foam, which means you know, nothing can leak through it. So that's this is the control panel that's controlling that extruder. Everything's pretty much computerized nowadays. This is a panel that controls the whole line. It controls the extruders, the you know, everything that's associated with it. There's multiple screens. This is just happens to be one screen showing one of the extruders. I think the small one on that one. But this other screen this is actually an X-ray, which is at the end of the line. It's actually X-raying the through the foam. So here's the foam in blue. Here's the copper, and here's the OD, the diameter 1.676. And here's a tolerance on it, 5 thousandths they're holding. It's pretty critical on the dimensions. Oh, this is concentricity, I think. I can't really see eccentricity, concentricity. This thing has to be dead center, really. All right, next video. This is,
That one doesn't look dead center.
yeah, it is, 1 thousandths. This is an FFT, what's called FFT, transform, fast Fourier transform. What it does is, I'm not a science mathematician, but what it does is it analyzes the cable, looks at the capacitance with this capacitance tube that's at the end of the line, and they can do some mathematical computations, and they can tell, like, these spikes here. These spikes would be like a bad spot in the cable where it's not going to perform well. All these colors are the different bands that the cable is operating in. So you want to keep the, you don't want to see any big spikes in those bands. It's FFT analysis. So here's the water trough. It's about 100, a little over 100 feet to get to the end of it. And at the end of it, they By that time, it's pretty, right here, you could touch it. It's pretty solid. I mean, it's still hot inside. But it's pretty much a solid. It's not a soft foam anymore. Demonstrating the water. That's my hand. They're not very good videos. These were taken a long time ago. The camera wasn't exactly high quality.
I remember we took that field trip to your facility there, Jim.
Oh, were you on that?
Oh yeah, it was one of the first things I ever did with the club.
Yeah, that was a while ago. That was like 10 years ago or more. So here's that capacitance tube that checks capacitance where they can generate the that fast Fourier transform, if I can say it.
Ask for your transformation.
Yeah, this is a blow off here, just blowing off the water, another blow off. This is the X-ray machine right here. Nothing too exciting, but this is the X-ray machine.
You guys have to wear badges?
No,
No.
no. Actually, there's no radioactivity at X-ray. I guess the way the tube, when they apply a high voltage to the tube, it gives off an X-ray that works. This is another cap stand. This is pulling from the other end, just pulling it, and then goes up on the reel. So now what we've got the center conductor with the foam dielectric on it, and what comes next? What happened here? Oh, it's still moving. I guess I stopped for a while. These take-ups have an automatic electric eyes, and they're kind of set. Well, they're set to transverse at a certain diameter of the cable, so it automatically lines it up real nice there. All right, so we got the cable halfway made. We've got the foam dielectric on it. I'm glad all I have to do is click an arrow to the next video. All right, I think I'm out of order here. All right, we're gonna go back. This is after they put the outer conductor on it, they're gonna put the jacket on it. I guess these are going in kind of some order, not the order, they're the order that they're on my folder. But basically, here's another extruder. It's extruding the polyethylene jacket, black jacket. So this is just a straight extruder. Again, this is called a crosshead because the cable goes through and the extruded material comes in.
You got a question? You got a question
Yes, sir.
from Sean. Start to
Yeah.
finish, how long is the process for one spool?
Well, making the copper part, the copper center conductors, oh boy, if I can remember, they run about 40 feet per minute. I think there's, I forget how many, 3,000, 3,000 or 4,000 feet on there. The foam runs about 16 feet per minute. So it runs a lot slower. The jacket, I don't know, the jacket even goes faster. That goes pretty fast. So I don't know, I guess I'd never really added up to give you how I could say how much it takes to make it. But that's basically it. The copper with the welding, they run it pretty quick, about 40 feet a minute, give or take, depending on the size cable they're making.
Even the
And then
outer
the
shield,
foam-
is that right?
Huh?
The outer shield, is that right too?
Yeah, it's similar speed, yeah. All right, so that was the jacket. Some more of the jacket line. Then I guess probably when I click the next one, we'll go back to the outer conductor, I think. It's another cap stand. That's what pulls things along. This is a printer, electrostatic printer. It's actually shooting the ink on there and printing on the cable. So I think I'm, all right. Yeah, this one is not as automated on the take up. So we need a little help there. But basically, all those lines have basically one operator. All right, so here we did the foam. We're gonna put the outer conductor on it. You notice there's not a lot of people around there.
Yeah, that fella that was there was the first human we've seen besides you.
Yeah.
There's two more.
So here's the, again, the payoff for the copper. You see, this is it's a wider copper because it's gonna go around there, around the outside there. Now, when we did the interconductor, the first operation, we just formed the copper into a tube. Well, this one, we have to insert the foam into the copper and then form the copper around it. Now, here's your slitter that's sizing the copper to make sure it's the exact size. So here, what they're doing, they're kind of putting the foam cable and then forming the copper around it. And then it'll go through a sizing die. And then here's your welders behind the welding mask there. That's a camera. And again, that's the weld right there. It's really hard to tell what it is if you don't know what you're looking at. There's a control for the machine. There's a little sizing rollers to kind of knock down the weld on top so it's nice and round. Oh, what happened? I think I just backtracked a little. All right, here's that cap stand that's pulling everything along. And again, this one goes through a corrugator also to corrugate the copper, which allows it to bend. Yeah, it's just an air blowing off some of the moisture from the corrugating machine. And they roll it up on the cable. And then from there, it went over to the jacketing line to put the jacket on, which kind of jumped ahead out of order. So once you get the jacket on, it's pretty much done. This is just a view of the plant. So I think, what are we looking at? These are jacket lines. There's a couple jacketing lines here, 2 jacketing lines that we saw. One of them we saw before.
Hey, Jim,
Yeah.
how long is each of these lines? How many?
Well, the foam line, like I said, the water trough alone is about 120 feet. This one on the jacketing line, I forget, each one of these are 10. It's probably about 60 feet. That cools because it's, the foam has to cool slowly. The jacket's not that thick and cool a lot quicker. The welding lines, I don't know how long they are, 50 feet, but there's some.
They just looked longer than that, that's all. So
Maybe it's longer. These are the foam lines back here. They go that way. You can't really see them. They got so much darn cable stacked up. This is the infamous leaky cable line. It's what's called radiating cable. What they do is they take the interconductor, they run it through a machine, and there's 2 milling end mills. And what it does is it mills a hole on each side of the high spot of the corrugation. And what that does is the signal leaks out through all those holes. They call it radiating cable, not leaky cable. But and why do you do that? Well, that's run in places like subways, things like that, and tunnels, so you can get a signal throughout the tunnel.
oh, okay. Yep.
Started selling a lot of that to New York. They were doing a lot of work in the subways. So just give you an idea of the size of the plant. That's not really the whole plant that goes a lot farther back, so. I guess that's the end of the videos. Any questions? Kind of a quick, just run
Thank you,
through the
Jim. I
videos.
for one found that fascinating. How that's
Okay.
made is one of my
Yeah.
favorites.
Yeah, some of the people have seen it, seen the video. Yeah, I'll show the, can you see
Well,
this?
Don't worry about what you did 10 years ago, Jim. I'm ready to take a tour of the company anytime you're ready.
I don't work there anymore. Yeah, boy. Can you see that?
Yeah.
All this stuff? Oh,
That's
God.
what?
That's a new computer. I don't know. I don't want to do all this, I guess. It's trying to get me to do something Microsoft anyway. Well, I guess that's it. I mean, I don't have to do the PowerPoint. PowerPoint just explains a little better.
Well, thanks, Jim. Very interesting.
Okay. I know some of you have been there. Some of you have seen it. Like, does this
Jim, I
show up?
forgot, what's the name of the blue cable called? That's for under the false floors and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
What's that? There's a word.
it's low.
Is that the direct burial stuff?
No, the blue
No.
stuff is for going up in plenums and stuff up in
Plenum
buildings.
cable,
It's
plenum, that's it.
plenum
Plenum.
cable, that's right. Yeah, plenum cable. It's a low flame, low smoke. Like if a building catches on fire, it doesn't burn.
So it's got a Teflon coating.
It's not Teflon. It's a different type of plastic. Because the black is polyethylene, basically just polyethylene. Where's that blue stuff? I forget what it's called. Some trade names on it.
Then there's orange stuff too. I forgot what that's called.
Yeah, I don't know. We haven't really made the orange. They didn't make the orange much. Boy, they probably made some, but that wasn't very common. They made green. They made Fenway green for a while. A run of that.
Yeah.
And I'm not kidding. It was made. They call it Fenway green because the cable was made to put in Fenway Park and to match the wall.
It almost screwed himself in the ground when he found out it was made for Fenway.
All right, that's it. I can figure out how to get some of this stuff closed up.
How do you move those cable reels around?
They pick them up with a
Them on
forklift from
trucks
the
and
side.
everything, but they're heavy.
They pick them up with a forklift from the side. They go into the side and the forks, go across the two
Yeah.
flanges. They lift them up. Or you can roll them. Sometimes they roll them.
When I worked out utility, we got a lot of RFS and Cable Wave and the other Wallingford company. That's what we did. Spread the forks on the forklift, turn the reel
Yep.
sideways, and the forks just fit
Yep.
under there nice.
Lift it up.
Lift
Yeah.
it up. You just
Yeah,
hope when
cable-
you put it, you hope when you put it down, it doesn't roll.
Yeah, well, the floors are pretty flat inside, so. Cable Wave is actually radio frequency systems. That was the old, and it became
Yeah.
radio frequency systems. They also made a lot of conditioning equipment there, filters and combiners and things there. Made microwave dishes there also.
Yeah. Still do.
Yeah, still do, that's true. I shouldn't, I say in the past tense because I'm not there.
Any
They're
other
still
questions?
They're still managing to go without me.
Nice job, Jim. Thanks.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
no problem.
Thanks, Jim.
Gonna have to get one of those machines instead of knitting all that coax sprayed by hand like we do in the shop.
I know. Pretty soon, all those old ladies with the knitting needles are gonna be, they're not gonna pass on all that trade. Yeah, Times Fiber makes the type of cables that have the wire braid outer conductor. The outer conductor is the braid that we typically deal with when we're putting connectors on. And again, these cables, the center conductor is hollow. It's just the hollow copper. And I guess everybody knows why.
So
Skin
Why?
effect.
Skin effect, right? The copper, the signal only travels on the outer surface of the center conductor. They make a small cable, they're 1/2-inch cable. We don't form the center conductor. We buy copper clad aluminum wire. So it's aluminum core with copper clad on it. And again, because the signal's only traveling on the outside of the copper. So that's the real small sizes there.
All right, any other topics of discussion, questions, anything?
Get a lot of emails on the spare repeater. I don't know if you want to take that up here or not, but
Anybody got a question or a comment? Sure, anything's open. Everything's open.
I've been watching the emails of you and yeah,
Me, Steve,
I got his name already.
Rich, TRY.
Rich. No, basically Rich and Rob have been going back and forth about it. Yeah. I got one of the manuals for that old AC controller.
We've got a current parametric setup that Steve has provided. He extracted. What else? We had an offer from John User. He's got a piece of rack here, or actually he's got two, that will house the repeater, the backup repeater components. And might be an easier way to store it up there at the water tower. So that if something ever goes wrong with the primary repeater, the equipment's already up there. Nobody has to transport it. We just got to attend it, swap it over and make it run. That was the thought process.
Yeah, you still need a couple of guys to do that stuff.
I don't think they would want to be
I'm not
stored
sure
up
you
at the
can
water
fit
tower.
it in the,
Hey, Dan.
it's all dirty up there.
I just don't think they got enough lavatory, like showers and stuff. Ha ha ha.
Aha. Wonderful.
John, I sent you the 2 documents.
They
for
have
you
a
to
lot of
look at.
water though.
There is water. You're right about that.
John, PDF, I sent you the 2 documents, and when you get a chance, you can look at them.
Okay,
I saw that.
I'm not gonna make any meetings, that's obvious.
Most of the meetings are on Zoom anyway these days.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to say 7-3, everybody.
I don't know if anybody remembers how to program up there.
Hey, Johnny B. See ya.
All right.
Take care, John.
Yep. Good night, guys. Y'all take care.
Good night.
Stay well.
Hey,
Enjoy-
John, before you go,
Yeah.
here's the Jeopardy question. I don't remember its rivers, but I don't remember the whole wording, but it was something about a river in Virginia that no longer exists. I don't have the whole clue.
Oh, I heard this
A
one.
river in Virginia that no longer
There was a river in
exists?
Virginia at one time, but it no longer exists in
The
Virginia.
Rappahannock,
No.
Swanee
It's still
River.
there.
Roanoke?
What'd you say,
No.
Rick?
Galileo.
The Swanee River.
No, I thought it was Swanee. I thought it was the Swanee River.
That's not in Virginia.
The Bull Run?
About the Yellow River.
Nah, it's the Ohio River. they didn't go into a lot of detail, but it's in West Virginia now. Now, I don't know if West Virginia was originally part of Virginia, maybe, so.
Really?
I
Yeah,
don't
it
know.
was.
That
It
was.
was.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I guess back
West
then it was
Virginia
in
came
Virginia.
about during the Civil War.
Now it's not in Virginia because it's in West Virginia. Oh, well, I didn't have the whole wording.
Well, I would have gotten it if you did.
Exactly.
Probably
All right.
not.
What's the river in Virginia that flows north?
The Rappahannock,
Negative.
the Roanoke,
Negative.
Potomac?
Negative.
Susquehanna.
Negative.
Yeah.
Shenandoah South Fork flows north. Shenandoah North Fork flows south. And they're all separated by Massanutten Mountain. The only reason I really know that is because that's my hunt.
Virginia.
No, it's not. That's in Virginia. That's my old hunting grounds. Well, my current hunting grounds, I guess.
all right. I'm gonna go read about rivers
Nope.
in Virginia.
Sure, enough trivia for tonight. Good night, guys. I'm going to close out. Have a great
Okay.
evening.
Adios all.
All right. Take it
Night
easy,
all.
guys.
7-3.
Good night, all.
Next time.
Good night. Good night,
night.
everybody.
Night, Jim Bob.
Good night.
Now that's in West Virginia. No, it wasn't. It was in Virginia, wasn't it?